Well, the lazy days of summer are just around the corner, and for many families, now is the time to lock in that summer camp. Kelli Grant, senior consumer reporter for MoneyWatch, is here with some tips that'll help you save money. Good morning.
Good morning.
So yeah, there are a lot of different types of camps to choose from and quite a range in terms of how much you spend. Is this a case where the more you spend, the more you get?
Maybe, but not necessarily. So that's why it's important for parents to not just look at the fees, but to really look at what you're getting for that money. The American Camp Association says they've seen camps that are as little as $75 for a week all the way up to $800 and probably even more on top of that. Right. So really just compare and see what's in your area, what the going rate is, and what you're getting for all of that money.
I was always a YMCA kid and I had a lot of fun. So
those are actually some of the best deals out there, a lot of these camps that are run by bigger groups. Right. So definitely take a look at that, even if you think it's less expensive than some of the bigger, more pricier camps. And
depending on where you end up sending your kid, you could actually get a tax break.
You could. Actually, this is something that we see, kind of every year. People look at the dependent care credit and they think about it for babysitting, daycare, but you can actually get it if you send your kid to day camp. And depending on your income, it could be a break of up to 35% of the cost of up to $3,000 in deductible expenses. No overnight camps, though. That does not qualify for this break.
Day camp. Okay, that's interesting. Like vacations, you have peak times and off-peak times, and you pay more depending on whether it's the peak time. Same thing for summer camp.
Same thing holds true for camp. If you can get your kid to go during maybe the first couple of weeks of summer, might see a break there because a lot of kids are still in school. We see, might even through June, a lot of schools are still in session.
Yeah.
Same thing holds true for the end of the summer when a lot of kids are already back early on, and they might need to offer some breaks to fill up those. Always worth asking just to see if there's a less popular session. A lot of time directors will discount that at the last minute.
And there are other discounts that you can find as well.
There are. Always worth asking about it if your kid has been a camper at that camp previously. Sometimes there's a discount, or if they're bringing a sibling, if you're referring a new attendee, that can also yield you a discount. All sorts of interesting things. Just be sure to ask. But the early bird discount's the one that we've all pretty much missed out on this year. But think about that at the end of the summer.
Right. You never know unless you ask the question, right?
Exactly.
That applies to a lot of things. And you may still have a chance to go to a more expensive camp, send your kid to a more expensive camp, because in many cases you can find kind of scholarships almost, sort of.
You can. They call them camperships, and This is yet another one of those questions that people don't necessarily ask, but they should. There may be financial aid available. These camperships, which are usually for people who have financial need. Sometimes there are even like work-study programs that you might take advantage of, or even if the director is willing, you might be able to spread out that payment instead of paying everything right at the beginning of the camp session. If you can put it out over a couple of payments, maybe that makes it more affordable.
So sort of the rule of thumb is, know what your kid likes. Doesn't necessarily mean that you got to spend a ton of money, but if your kid does like a more expensive camp and will benefit more, there are ways to save. There
are potentially some ways that you can cut that bill, and it's really just worth asking and doing the research.
All right, very good. Kelli Grant, senior consumer reporter for MoneyWatch. Thank you so much for joining us again this morning.
Thank you.